What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel Chess Magic. Today I'm going to show you some 10 traps which are going to help you in your game, and I think 90% of players fall in this trap. D4. Many people play D4 as the Queen's Gambit. We play declined variation. I'm showing you knight d2 because many people play knight d2. We sacrifice our pawn, he take our pawn. We play knight g4 because many people get frustrated or irritated or when the knight comes to their side, so they'll just shoot us away. But they play pawn h3. We put our knight to e3, sacrifice our knight. If he takes, I think it'll be a beautiful mate, and it'll be like a zigzag mate, first mate. If you don't know what's a zigzag, I'm going to make a video on zigzag also. And I think many people know zigzag, but still, if you don't know zigzag, please comment in the comments box. I'll make a video on zigzags and give you puzzles also. So now it's a puzzle. Tell what's the move by the first full mate. Fine, if you want to stop the video, you can stop. But I think many people have answered till now because it's very easy. Queen to e4, h4. And then he pushes his pawn to g3. We happily capture his pawn and then win a pawn. And then nicely mate him. Let's go for the second one. Again and then again we decline Queen's Gambit. Many people even play pawn to c4. We sacrifice a pawn. He will take happily. Last variation was knight to d2. That's why his king would not run to d2. That's why it was a mate. This time it's not there, so we'll not let him go to d2. And if we play knight e4, his king can't go to d2 because it'll be a check, and it can only stay on e1. So he will develop his knight. We play a pawn to d6. He captures our pawn. Most players will capture our pawn. 90 players will fall for this trap, and then we'll capture the pawn. And many people won't play this because we capture, it'll be a double pawn. So I think many people will go for this move. For fianchettoing their bishop, will capture the pawn and then he'll nicely take it. Again we'll capture the pawn. He'll again nicely take it and then we'll take his queen, and then he'll be crying at this stage. Because we have sacrificed our one knight and one bishop and won a whole queen. Won the queen. Here our bishop is blocking us. That's why we give him a check and then capture the queen. Because before we can't, because bishop will be blocking us. Let's go to third one. e4, e5, knight f3, pawn d6. Because some people who has much talent, they'll frustrate us. They'll not play knight to c6, and then we'll be thinking what move can we play. They'll play pawn to d6. That's why I'm showing you this trap. We sacrifice a pawn. He doesn't take. He'll just develop his pieces. Even he will go for developing pieces. He'll bring his bishop, planning to bring his knight to f6 and then castle. And then now we take the pawn. And then if he takes, we'll bring our queen to d5. The last option he can block the mate is he can play knight h6. We capture his knight. He castles. If he captures our bishop, we can mate him. So he castles. We capture this pawn. He captures. We capture. He can capture, but he will have a double pawn on the h file, And then I think from here you should win easily. You can bring this B1 knight and go front, bring this knight to a good outpost, mate him, bring the rooks, and then take the support from the white bishop. Let's check the fourth one. E4, E5, knight C3, knight F6, bishop C4, and then knight captures the pawn. We can't capture the pawn because he'll push his pawn like this, and then it'll be a fork. Mostly it'll be a fork. And then here he will be done. That's why he won't play that. So we won't play that. That's how we'll capture the weak pawn on f7. He captures. We give him check. He moves. We capture his knight. He'll be like, it's okay. He has two knights, one bishop. I have one knight, two bishops. So I'll continue with my development. And the shocking move, knight to d5. He'll be like, oh my god, knight free, and he will be thinking we are thinking to mate him on f7, and then he captures our knight, and then the shocking move is queen to d5, and it'll be a mate. So let's, and then I think he'll be crying at this stage maybe. Let's go on the fifth one, e4. It's a counter attack for Scandinavian. It's an awesome counter attack. And I think here he may capture our queen, but then this will be a mate, so he can't capture our queen. He'll bring his bishop back. We capture his bishop. If he captures our queen also, this will be a mate, and it'll be forced. He can't bring his queen to d7, and then he can't run because the knight is there. And I think this will be a forced mate because of this is also a mate. So from here we won the game. Mostly he'll play something like this, and then we will play this and win the game. And let's check. Let's go forward and check the England gambit. Here we played the Queen's gambit, but most opponents will decline it. Not we, but most opponents will decline it. And then, yep, it'll be like this. And then here the shocking move will, here mostly I think opponents will, if we play this, he'll bring his bishop, and then the shocking move will be this. We'll bring his bishop, we capture this. Most people will go for this. We bring our bishop, he'll bring his queen. We take, he takes, he will be thinking we'll take his queen, and then he'll take with the knight, and then he'll get saved. But no, this will be a beautiful mate. And then what if he doesn't play this? He plays something like this. We can capture the rook, and from here we can easily win the game. And yeah, I'm showing you. Many people will be thinking we can play this, but we can just take this and then run away. So this is also, he will lose. Mostly he'll lose here. Let's go for the seventh one. E4, E5, knight F3, knight C6, bishop C4, fried liver, and then he'll play bishop C5. We push the pawn. We push the C2 pawn to C3. He brings his knight to F6. We push this pawn, D2 pawn to D4. He'll bring his bishop back. If he captures also, we'll capture with the C3 pawn, and then our pawn will be in the middle. We'll capture the center, we'll control the center. It'll be awesome for us. It'll be very good for us. So he brings his bishop back. we capture this pawn, then surely he'll capture this pawn. And then we play queen to d5. Here we mate him or else we capture his knight. If he does this, if he castles, we can capture his knight. And what if he plays this? We can easily win the game. So if we capture his knight also, we'll be in a lead, and then we can bring bishop to d3, attack on the weak h7 square. And let's go forward and check the 8th trap. It's done. d4, pawn c5, pawn c4, he captures, and then pawn knight f3, he supports the pawn, we capture, brings his knight, and then we win the knight easily. It's done by black, I forgot to tell you. And then we win this knight. And then let's check the 9th one. Here e4, the counter attack for Sicilian. And then many people play Sicilian to frustrate you guys. I know because they even frustrate me. But I have a counter for this. Knight f3, pawn d6, pawn d4. He will capture our pawn. We capture with the knight. Most people will capture the pawn. And then now he brings his knight to f6. And then we bring our knight to c3. He pushes his g7 pawn to g6. We play bishop e3. He will go for attacking our bishop. Our bishop is strong. I think his knight right now is not doing any work. And our bishop, I think it's better than the knight. She'll go for exchanging the bishop. We can't capture this knight because the bishop can take our queen. So now we'll bring our second bishop into action, white bishop. And then if he blocks by his bishop, we nicely win his knight because he can't take, because it will be a, yeah, you can see this, he can't take because of this. It will be a check and that's not possible. And what if he defends with the knight? Still we can take because his knight is blocking the bishop and he can't move his knight because again this bishop will give him a check. So I think you're enjoying the video. 10 traps with small traps, but I think you should learn one trap of this, stop the video, and then after the trap success you can check my second trap. e4, e5, knight f3, bishop c5, and then knight e5. We capture the pawn on f2. If he captures, we play queen h4, and then if he defends with the pawn, we take the pawn on e4, and surely we win the rook, or else if he does this, we can win the knight. A shorter way is, I think, we can give him a check here, and then he goes, then we can even capture his knight. But some people don't see the rook, that's why I told you this way. They'll just bring, yep. There are counters, but people will go for, I think, pawn d4. Then we can capture. And the last one, I've completed the last one. Hope you enjoy our video. So bye for now.